Hi everyone, Kim here from Safety Bay Yoga Centre. It's our Yoga Summit, week 2, and wasn't there some great stuff this week? I loved Michelle's therapeutic with the chair yesterday. Her sequence was terrific. Some great stuff for you for your home practice, and maybe just to spark up your practice generally. And today I'm going to follow on a bolster from last week's offering with the twist, and we're going to do some supported back bend. So check out this sequence. BackBend SideBend follows on with the twists from last week, and there's nice stuff to do on your bolster at home anytime. So join me if you choose, and let's get into it. Okay, it's a lovely supported back bend. Your back will bend more easily if you bend your knees, better for your lumbar spine, and also better for your neck, your cervical spine if you support your head. So try this, bend your knees, and using your feet, push yourself very gently, wriggle yourself over the bolster like so. So you really open the heart, the sternum, the chest bone. You draw the shoulder blades down the back. And then if you do bend your knees, you can just lean them against each other. That will provide a little bit of support here. You'll feel that lengthening of the sternum, those shoulder blades drawing down a little bit more, which is a lovely postural support. And you've just got to find a manageable starting position here, one that limits you a little bit with your breathing and is a little bit uncomfortable with your back bend, but is not overly so. And then bend your elbows into the bolster here like this. You're using a pillow, it's a little gap between your pillow and your bolster. That's where your arms go, your shoulders to drop into this space as they release. And as your chest and your heart area opens here. So very good thoracic release. But also very nice for the neck. You can let the head go back as little or as much as you like. And that will take intensity out of the pose if you use a pillow. So nice steady breaths here makes it a good breathing pose. You can follow the flow and the feel of the breath. As it gradually frees up, the body is opening here, shoulders, rib cage, thoracic spine, back, and neck is releasing. This is actually a prompt version of Matsyasana. So typically we'll do this after shoulder stand, also in class, and we might do a few other releases, but would spend some time here in this beautiful supported back bend. And you can take some variations. Once you start to loosen into the pose, you can stretch your legs out, which will gently intensify the pose. Lengthen your lower back by stretching the legs, and particularly the inner legs. And do that with your breathing also. Some nice support the pose, the deepening of the sequence, the release with some longer breaths. That's it. And then once you've stretched your legs out, you might like to stretch your arms out too, and be active through hands and feet, lengthen through inner legs and inner arms, and thereby through the back of the neck, you're going to feel the backs of your shoulders open also. And I always stretch actively for a few breaths and encourage you guys to rest a little bit and just feel the effects of the release, and then repeat. And this allows some time for the body to accommodate, to further open and to further release, and your resting time is just as important as your active. Stretch, whether you're on in the pose, on the mat, or in our lives, really. It's all about balance. Breathe out, lengthen, and rest down. So you can stay here as many breaths as you like, and just a little tip for you, if you do fall asleep or you spend a bit of time here, come out nice and slowly, and you might do things like this: support the head, bend the knees up, and just roll off to the side and come out slowly rather than sit up. It's the way to go. We're going to continue on from here with some supported side bend, also for the thoracic area. You won't need a pillow now. Your bicep becomes your pillow. And you stay on that same thoracic heart height of the spine. So I've really just rotated onto one side of the body, lengthening the arms. And you might take some mudra to help you with that. The legs, and pillowing the head. And you know you're in the right spot if your head rests on your bicep. And just tilt your pelvis back a little bit to gently lengthen and support that more evenly, that side bend, lengthen your lumbar spine. And from there you can just lean back a little bit as you breathe. And you might rotate the head gently, a bit more the back of the head into your bicep, chin towards upper armpit to gently deepen your neck release. You're going to feel that through the whole side and upper body here. And you breathe into those side ribs and back ribs. Front ribs, and ideally you can feel some movement there underneath you. Be on your rib cage. That's it. And further variations here, you can take arm behind, and you might bend your knees to stabilise as you lean back and open the top chest a little bit more. And if you're on a bolster, you can bring the arm up, the palm behind you. Let me show you how this works. Just rotate over to the other side. So you might be happy to stay in side bend and just soak it up. Be on your rib cage, don't be on your armpit or your waist. And you can take neck release with the rotation of the head, support with the bicep. After a while, top arm comes around, and it might come here into a half namaste on your bolster. You're just leaning back a little bit here. So the top chest opens, the shoulder, front of the shoulder opens a little bit more. And you can also take Gomukhasana here. So you bring the lower arm, and tip for you, just draw the elbow back a little bit. And bring the arms and the hands a little bit closer together. This is a supported Gomukhasana. And you'll find the neck rotation a little easier now as you tuck the back of the head more into the crook of the elbow. And you can stay here for some deeper release. So very thoracic, upper body, shoulders, neck. And who doesn't get tight here from time to time? So it's a lovely sequence, and you can stay as long as you like. And I recommend you finish off with a little bit of forward bend. And if you put these together, the twist from last week, the bolster twist, the back bend, the side bend, and then the forward bend, it's a pretty good collection of poses, quite therapeutic and beautifully supported. And in this Virasana forward bend, just park your elbows slightly forwards, the top of the bolster. Keep your head up for a few breaths to let your shoulders open, your spine and your hips soften, and you let yourself sit back, but you're kind of anchored here by your elbows, gently active with your hands. And then when the head does come down, the top of the head to rest right on top of the bolster. You just keep breathing here with some spacious breaths. Breathing is more free now. And any sense of opening and release that you can be with here will deepen the benefits and indeed the pleasure of the posture. And that's a lovely way to finish. And you might just move very gently also. You can glide the pelvis. So it's a lovely, short, all-over body release, beautifully supported. You can't really go wrong. You'll feel your way into these. And it's something that I do most nights before bed. And want to get it in somewhere during your day. If you're not doing anything else, that's a pretty good home practice. And that's what it's all about, really, isn't it? To get some work going outside class and move ahead. Practice a bit more intuitively and a bit more individually, and ideally a bit more regularly. And that's what our summit is all about. You get to meet us and do some different things with us. And we like to see you along, so you're very welcome. And I hope to see you soon. Namaste.